In October of 1979, Baba provided the grace for me to have an amazing experience. At the same time, it wasn't pleasant. I had the experience of the dissolution of the world in the waking state. And in order to handle everything that was happening internally, and because to free me from what was happening externally, Baba removed me from the work of being Baba's appointment secretary. And nothing was said. No one knew why that was happening. Baba and I had had a private conversation. No one knew. And everybody, and when I say everybody, it was thousands of people, because there were really thousands of people around, all had ideas. All decided, and I became a pariah. Nobody talked to me. Nobody looked at me. Everybody assumed I had committed some heinous crime, and Baba had shunned me into hell. And Baba let people, which was in a lot of ways fascinating. He let people think whatever they were going to think. And he actually, in some ways, promoted it, because he only talked to me in private then. He'd sneak, and he'd talk to me, and he was incredibly reassuring and taking care of me through this whole period of time. So that had happened initially in South Fallsburg, and then we went to Boston, and we were staying in a house that had been a Rockefeller mansion. I mean, literally gold leaf ceilings. It's like, this is a home. It was hard to cope with. But it was also, we're in Boston, and it's freezing cold. It's fall. Everything's turning dark early. And there was a group of us that was traveling with Baba, staying in this house. And I was the pariah, not spoken to, shunned. I would actually go outside and rake leaves. What the heck? And I pretty much kept to myself. So one evening, in the evening program, and again, it was small. There weren't a lot of people, because in Fallsburg, we'd have 500 people at the evening program. This was like a little bit like this. Baba's told the story of, and he kept on looking at me while he told this story. And the story went like, there were 10 men that went on a pilgrimage. And they went to the place of pilgrimage. And as people did, they took vows. So they took the vow of not eating fish and not drinking alcohol. Those were the two vows they took while at this place of pilgrimage. And then the 10 men left to head back home. And when they got to a village, they realized they were really thirsty. And the only drink that this village had was a drink called toddy, which was alcoholic. And one of the men said, "No one will know." And another man said, "But we took a vow. We took a vow." "No one will know," the other said. So 9 of them drank the toddy, and that one did not. They then went on their way, and they came to, by the ocean, a village, and they were all hungry. And of course, as the story is obvious, there was only fish to eat. And the man said, "We took a vow." And the others said, "No one will know. No one will know." So those 9 ate the fish, and that one did not. They then go on their way. They get back to their home village, and one of those 9 said, "We all took a vow not to eat fish or drink alcohol, but that man did." And then Baba looked straight at me and said, "The majority wins, but the truth always prevails." Not an easy story, but the way of the world. And we have to understand that and take the solace, and that's what I did. I took the solace in that story that the truth does, in fact, prevail. And again, if you're off the grid, you'll see that truth and understand. And so if that 10th person, which Baba was saying, looking at me, that one that didn't drink or eat the fish, is off the grid, that the truth would be okay, would solve it in that. And it did, because I was able to then handle the majority. I never defended myself. I never said a peep to anybody. Nobody knew the truth. Never said a word. I just bore in and dealt with my own internal. And so my way of operating completely changed and didn't relate with the majority. Because I wasn't doing this to that. And that's how we need to keep getting off the grid. But it was not, I want to say, this thing deciding I'm good and right, and they just don't see how good and right I am. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about I'm the truth, They may win, but I'm the truth. No, that wasn't it at all. So if anybody is thinking it, stop it. It is completely off the grid. So that adversary situation disappeared. That makes sense?